A Pointing Finger Tells About Braille, written and read by Melanie Wimleitner. Hello, dear Braille friends and those who are interested. You want to know who I am? I am the left pointing finger of a well-trained, passionate lady who is able to read Braille. Why not the finger of her right hand? Well, the reason is simple, because when I made my first experiences with Braille, I was chosen to be the reading finger. Just intuitive, without any hierarchical systems of left-right. The left pointing finger has the same sensitivity than the right one does. While I am always the most important reading finger to her, the right pointing finger and I both often rush together through the lines. 6 fingers are included when typing signs on the Perkins Braille machine, and both thumbs are used to press the space bar. But on the Braille organizer Pronto, we all 10 fingers are used to do the same part. We are attuned to each other, harmonious like an orchestra. We all know which position we exactly have when we type. For instance, I have the honorable task to type the letter A and the number 1 on the typewriter as well as on the Braille organizer. Other fingers are included though when I write the letters B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Of course, there are also letters which give me a break. What I have just told you is a learning process which requires patience. So this works not from today until tomorrow. It needs exercise, exercise, exercise. It needs a lot of practice to train all these combinations of points. This year, in autumn, I celebrate my 30th anniversary as a Braille reading finger. I remember when I started learning it in the first class of primary school. I had to work through letter by letter to train my writing and reading skills. At the beginning, it took me a while to perceive the difference between touching the numbers 4, 6, and 8, because these numbers consist of a combination of 3 points which feel similar under the fingers at first. When reading texts, I sometimes need a moment to differentiate between the letters E and I, but I think it is as if a sighted person may have to learn how to differentiate between the letter O and the number 0. The only contrast is that I had to train my sensory touch receptors while the eyes of the sighted children were visually directed. Now I have realized which uniquely wonderful gift I have developed. But I haven't only learned letter by letter. I even have been taught to read short-handed Braille and computer Braille too. This opens more opportunities to use Braille in different ways. After a while, everything went automatically. I have already read a lot of books and texts in Braille. Now I have so much routine that I often fly over the lines very quickly. It is a real massage for me to rush through the points. I love to read on the paper as well as I do on the Braille display. I find that both ways of reading have their charm. I will always remember that I made my first steps on the paper. I think that the noise of the paper while turning over the pages has a senses and suspense effect. Nowadays, I mainly read on the Braille display. The advantage is that it doesn't take much place, and it gives you the opportunity to read more different books and texts in one go. It is also the best way to correct mistakes. Using a Braille display plays a very important role when it's about assistive technology for blind people. I think Braille is a symbol for sensuality and freedom. While I am enjoying the massage as I'm reading, I send information to the brain. This information is interesting, amazing, exciting, and funny. It creates fantasy and the imagination of pictures, fragrances, and noises. Those who read Braille have the ability to combine all the factors I have just explained, as well as other people do the same with acoustical and visual ways of reading. Freedom, the invention of Braille, goes back 200 years ago now. This invention opened doors for education and culture. But not only that, using Braille gives the chance to have more privacy. It is possible to listen to a lecture and take notes at the same time. Braille note takers are very practical to take notes while you listen. Of course, you can also write messages and nobody can read or hear anything. So come on, Braille reading fingers. Does it already itch under your skin? Would you like to read something in Braille now? And what about you, all those who can't read Braille? Are you interested to try it out? Although only blind people have the sensitivity to read Braille with their fingers, everyone can make the experience how it feels to touch the points. Now I am sending my best wishes to all pointing fingers who love it to rush through Braille texts, a future filled with happiness, sensuality, and freedom.